our client told us that they were ideally not willing to go higher than 110. When I told them that based on my understanding of who they're looking for, years of experience, seniority-wise scope, you're probably looking at maybe like 120 to 140, 150. So let's talk about one of the recent deals that we were able to successfully close. We were initially approached by one of our favorite aviation consumer-facing clients. They have a global presence, absolutely dominating, and they reached out to us to see if they can help with a marketing manager role. The reason for this is that they have a massive internal team, and for one reason or another, they just haven't been seeing the candidates that they were really, really happy about. And also, to add to this, I have a direct personal relationship with the CMO. She actually first started out as my candidate, then became my client, and now becoming my client again at her new job, which is the reason why, if you are in the talent acquisition recruiting profession, it's all about long-term relationships, because you never know what opportunities can arise. Anyway, I've been working with her a lot over the years. She reached out back to us and she's like, hey, Preston, I really need you and your team to kind of get this done. As you know, if you've been watching, our first step is to really do an intake call, to really understand exactly what she and her team are looking for, so that we can be aligned, we can really calibrate on compensation, we can calibrate on must-have skills, years of experience, really making sure we know exactly what to do to kind of go after that target persona that we will craft together in a very collaborative way on this call. Once we were crystal clear in terms of what they're looking for, really looking for someone maybe coming out of an agency, in-house, they need to have some sort of understanding, experience with paid media, search, social. They need to also have experience managing agencies, doing that as well. If they've worked at either a consumer-facing company, a premium company, or even an agency that they work with clients in those related fields, that'd be a plus. Anyways, we had a very successful phone call, and then my team and I, we actually hit the ground running. What's really cool about this position is that one of our team members took lead on this position. So what that means is that they were responsible for really going out there, using all of our tools at our disposal to really identify, reach out, and screen really great candidates and move as fast as possible, where I will provide any secondary support along the way. But then where I come in is that when things get a little bit later stages, negotiations, and I start kind of taking ownership of that, as my team members still don't have that much experience. Lo and behold, my team member absolutely crushed it. I think it was only in the second email. So the first email we sent 2 candidates, the second email we sent 2 more candidates. All of those candidates end up being chosen for first round interviews, which is at 100% success rate in my mind when it comes to moving forward to a first round. But then one of them, our candidate, ended up just flying through the entire process. One thing I forgot to mention is that during the intake call, we realized that the initial salary band for this role was a little bit low compared to market. Our client told us that they were ideally not willing to go higher than 110. When I told them that based on my understanding of who they're looking for, years of experience, seniority-wise scope, you're probably looking at maybe like 120 to 140, 150 in terms of where the market is and what people in the market are looking for. So we were able to kind of get them up to 120. Then fast forward, we spoke to our first initial 4 candidates. Our candidate who ended up getting a job initially was okay with 120. He said that he was actually getting paid around that right now, but because he was so excited about our client, he was willing to be flexible. And that, again, goes back to the credit of my teammate being able to really pitch, being able to sell the opportunity to the candidate to get them excited. One of the biggest values that we give to companies is that we go out there, we are literally an outsourced sales team, and get the market so excited about an opportunity they might not even heard of, and get them engaged and willing to kind of go through the process. Our candidate ended up just crushing every single round. Everything was smooth sailing. He was also interviewing other companies, but he consistently ranked our client number 1. When we finally reached the final round, we did a one more process call with our candidate. He's like, you know what? Your client is number 1. I think everything's great. If they're willing to move forward to an offer with me, there is a very high chance I will accept. Now, at this final call, he did mention that there was a chance that potential other companies he's interviewing at might offer him something same or maybe a little bit more. And so what we did is we went back to the client, we relayed this information saying, hey, we completely understand that 120 is your cap. We did our best to manage the candidate's expectations. They're totally fine with it. But also, any little helps. If they want to negotiate any extra $1,000, $500, $2,000, $500, $5,000 would be absolutely amazing and help them to just shut this down. So we were able to really clearly communicate that to our client. They went through a final round, he did well, she reached out to him, they had a phone call, she extended, and then I think our candidate, I chatted with him on the process call, and I told them, if you're willing to negotiate, more than happy to do that, but I'm not sure if they can go higher than 120, it's really up to you. If you want to go shoot for the moon, go do it. And that's exactly what it did, because after that call, we heard back from the candidate and heard back from the client that now the revised offer terms has went from 120 to 125. So we went from starting with 110, which is a really realistic salary, bumped it up to 120, bumped it up to now 125, which is absolutely fantastic. But this goes to show how smooth it can look and feel and how fast the process can go if you are really effective in terms of understanding what they're looking for through intake call. That's also only made possible by really understanding that market well, so you don't really want to work and recruit every single market out there possible, and then really making sure that we systematically and methodically touch base with our client, our hiring manager, and our candidate, making sure there are no issues, and if there are questions, anything outstanding, that we're able to address them real time as fast as possible, so that if we get to the final round, we're able to extend an offer, hopefully within the target range, the candidate is happy, he or she will accept in a timely manner, signed, sealed, delivered, boom. Super pumped about the candidate, super excited about the client, excited to see what they will do together. And just great job to the team, great job for providing the best customer service that we can, and on to the next one.